So the highest score by a debutant captain in the form of 119 by Sanju Samson was not enough as Rajasthan lost out to Punjab on a last ball thriller in over 400 runs scored in 4 hours plus of playing time on game 4 of IPL 2021, and I think it was a crackerjacker of a game, lived up to all of our expectations. We did preview in our preview video that we expect a lot of runs to be scored in this game, and that was exactly what happened. Every bowler went for a ton of runs, and then it was the KL Rahul show and later the Sanju Samson show, which ended unfortunately for Rajasthan. But at the end of the day, entertainment galore for fans all over, to be very, very honest. We will also preview the Kolkata versus Mumbai video, but let's take a closer look first towards this crackerjacker of a game that was held in Mumbai between Punjab and Rajasthan. Tons and tons of runs on offer and entertainment galore. Rajasthan won the toss, remember, elected to bowl first, put Punjab into bat, and well, they had a good start indeed. Chetan Sakaria looked good. Mustafizur Rahman looked very, very good until then obviously Punjab lost Mayank Agarwal, and then it was the KL Rahul and Chris Gayle show for a while. KL Rahul sat back, did play some fabulous strokes, but sat back and allowed Gayle to sort of take the mantle on for a bit until Gayle fell just short of his 50 after scoring 350, after reaching the mark of 356s in IPL cricket, which is absolutely staggering. Big, big numbers indeed. But then there was the big surprise when Deepak Hooda walked in ahead of Nicholas Pooran, which I think surprised me and surprised everybody else. But we realized what was the intention behind that move. Hooda came in with an intention to absolutely smash everything that came in his way, took on the form of Hulk for Punjab on the night, and I think looked very, very impressive indeed. I think he was particularly impressive the way he targeted the likes of Dubey. I think he targeted Shreyas Gopal as well. He was destructive versus Morris. Mustafizur didn't spare anybody. That one over, especially versus Shivam Dubey, where he took him for 20 odd runs, was special to say the least, and just showed the quality that Deepak Hooda has, which we've not seen for a while now in the IPL. He's been around for a long, long time, but good to see him back in the ranks for Punjab. Big partnership in the middle between KL Rahul and Deepak Hooda really took Punjab really far ahead into the game. At a point, the run rate was about 12 per over, and it looked like they were set for a massive total until Hooda fell, and then Pooran fell as well on the first ball. I think that was a wicket that halted the scoring rate a little bit, and I think it would have, if Pooran had gotten in, they were easily about 10 to 15 runs, maybe 20 runs extra that could have added to the total, and the game would have become entirely Punjab's, and Rajasthan would have really not fancied their chances as much at all, to be very, very honest. But at the end of the day, a big total on the board, 220 plus on the board, courtesy of KL Rahul, who fell short of 100 but looked absolutely magnificent. So did Deepak Hooda, but I think very valiant effort from Punjab indeed. Rajasthan began on the back foot yet again. Ben Stokes out for a duck, 0 for 1 at a point. Manan Vora complete some fantastic, very, very good looking strokes indeed from Manan Vora at the top. But then in walked Sanju Samson. Butler show for a bit as well. Beautiful cameo. I think he took Riley Meredith for an absolute joyride, hitting him for 4 back-to-back boundaries, and then he was taken by Jai Richardson. Richardson showed why he's been regarded so highly with that bit of change in pace that got Butler. But then again, then it was the Sanju Samson show who absolutely took the attack to Punjab, single-handedly really took the fight to Punjab. He had a couple of cameos in and around him, but just the way in which he went about his stroke play, targeting areas like extra cover, targeting down the ground, he was looking to play in the V, when Samson walks out with that sort of an intent, he is at his destructive best, and he did exactly that. He targeted Meredith, targeted Richardson, these two bowlers who've been regarded as fabulous T20 bowlers, did really well in the Big Bash, got a welcome that they will never forget, an introduction that they will never forget to the IPL in the form of Sanju Samson. He is now, he obviously became the first centurion of 2021, but he's also opened the first century in two editions prior to this, in 17 and 19, I reckon, were both Sanju Samson hundreds. So he begins the tournament well, but it'll be interesting but how he takes it forward from there is always been a question. This time as well, I think, will be a question. Obviously, the game went down to the wire towards the end. Bit of a controversy. Should Sanju Samson have taken that run on the penultimate delivery, given Morris that bit of trust and said, "Fine, you are our man at the death. Here's your go ahead," or should he have taken? Did he do the right thing to take responsibility and onus and say, "I'm going to take the last ball and try and hit this out of the park and get my team over the line. I've done it all along. I'll do it again." Bit of controversy there. No opinions here. I think all in all, fabulous game. Sanju Samson versus KL Rahul turned out to be quite the contest. Two young captains, and they delivered with the bat for their respective franchises. It will be interesting to see how they build on from here, how these two franchises progress after a slam bang start to their respective IPL 2021 campaigns. Alright, let's take a look at the big game on Tuesday, which is Kolkata versus Mumbai. This is a contest that everybody looks forward to, especially Mumbai fans, because of how overwhelming the head-to-head count is in their favor. But Kolkata fans don't look away right away, because your team has looked very, very impressive. By far the most well-rounded side so far we've seen in this edition of the IPL. I think in their previous game, they were absolutely phenomenal with the bat first when they came into bat, and then bowled very well in trying conditions to defend their total. Kolkata were absolutely phenomenal, but they're against a Mumbai side that everybody expects to win from game 2 of their campaign. And I think this time, especially with the overwhelming head-to-head count that is in Mumbai's favor, a lot of expectation will be around Mumbai to sort of come out on top. Obviously, a couple of changes could probably be in line for Mumbai. Quinton de Kock, you'd like to think, will come in for Chris Lynn. He's out of quarantine, must be training. If he's fit and good to go, Quinton just walks into this team despite Chris Lynn's 49 odd in the last game. The other change, would you probably get in Nathan Coulter-Nile for Marco Jansen? I think not. Mumbai do not really function that way. They do not make changes right away after giving after giving an appearance to a debutant. They will let the youngster sort of continue, get a few games under their belt, and then bring in the more experienced personnel towards the second half of the tournament, or just after a few games, I think. So I think Marco Jansen will definitely get a few games. I don't foresee Jansen being benched for this one. The only change I think for Mumbai will be Quinton de Kock, if he's fit and available to come into this team. And I think he adds a lot to that top order. Rohit and Quinton have that understanding. They've batted together now for a couple of seasons. They understand each other. And hopefully Quinton won't run Rohit out from a Mumbai perspective. That's going to be very, very interesting to see how those two get going against Kolkata's new ball attack, which looked very, very impressive indeed. I think no changes for Kolkata in my book. Ritesh Rana, very, very impressive last time around. Rahul Tripathi, extremely impressive. Rana versus his former franchise, remember, point to prove. Maybe he would want to show that it's Mumbai's loss that they let him go. But I think overall, Kolkata would just want to carry on with the momentum that they've acquired, the wonderful work that they've done in laying down their foundations. Remember, we've spoken a lot about Kolkata and said they need to understand what their plans are and execute. And the initial impressions that I have from Kolkata is that they've laid out their plans, and it looks like it's a team that is set in their patterns, and they want to execute that against every team that they come against. And I don't see that changing a lot. I think they're going to stick to their plans versus Mumbai as well and come out on top. Hopefully for Kolkata fans, that is. I think I really want to see a little bit more from Russell this time around, more from Eoin Morgan as well. Didn't get to see a lot of both of these guys. Morgan got out early, of course. Russell, well, you like to think hopefully he gets to bat up the order a little bit this time from a Kolkata perspective. I think a couple of very interesting contests as well. Rohit versus Harbhajan is something I'm looking forward to. Harbhajan took the new ball last time around. Will he do it again versus someone like a Quinton de Kock, and also versus a Rohit Sharma? Two folks who've played a lot of cricket together. Would be interesting to see how they sort of square up versus each other. Bumrah versus Russell is the other contest I'm looking forward to, and I think No prizes for guessing why. Of course, two superstars of the game. Will be interesting to see how Russell shapes up against Bumrah, especially given the fact that he's not been in a lot of form. Talking about Russell, not about Bumrah. Of course, Bumrah is rarely out of form. Don't jinx it, Sumit. Right, and the other contest I'm looking forward to is Hardik versus Pat Cummins. I think Cummins looked very impressive in the previous game as well. Kolkata's previous game versus Hyderabad. I think it will be interesting to see how he and I say versus Hardik because Cummins is being brought in to bowl in the middle overs now and not exactly at the beginning and at the end. And that is a time where you probably see a Hardik Pandya probably in and around the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th over, and Cummins is sort of in operation at that time. So I think those are some crucial overs there, and it will be a very interesting contest between these two champion players. So a lot of contests, two very good teams, two teams that are looking set in their plans. Mumbai obviously are usually setting their plans, but Kolkata this time as well. So well, it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting game. A lot of matchups, and cricketnews.com will be around to preview and cover all of it as we move along very nicely to week 1 of IPL 2021.